Welcome back everyone to today's video. We're going to be looking at the weather for the next couple of weeks and into March and even into the spring with your ECMWF 42-day forecast. Okay, just before we start, I want to thank everyone for 400 subscribers on the channel, and also I just want to update you on the stay tuned, as there will be more videos, posts, and maybe even some live streams on the way over the next couple of weeks on the channel. So thank you everyone for tuning into the videos, and without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. So this is week 1 from the ECMWF. So this is the 12th to the 19th of February, and we look like this. So we've got high pressure up towards Greenland just here, as you can see, and also up towards Scandinavia over here as well, and we got a bit of a trough of low pressure sitting over the northern parts of England and Scotland, and that is still probably gonna drag the winds from mild direction from the southwest. So not really that much interesting going on for week 1 with the pressure charts. Precipitation once again looks very wet, how it has been over quite a long portion of the autumn and the winter, with most of Europe seeing very wet conditions in these green colours, and it's really not looking like stopping for the time coming, but maybe a change is on the way eventually. But once again, very, very wet at the moment. Have to go down all the way towards Spain, Portugal, and the Balkans to find any sort of drier weather. The temperatures for week 1 look like this, very mild once again through most of Europe, all the way up towards Scandinavia, Finland, Norway and Sweden to find anything colder than average, and there's no colder air to our south, it's all quite mild. So week 1 looks quite boring, really, a bit like we have been seeing over the last couple of weeks. But let's see if we do get any developments with these charts as we move into March. Okay, so this is the 19th to 26th of February, so this is week 2, and week 2 actually does look quite interesting. The high pressure in the Azores drops down way to the south. We've got a trough of low pressure sitting in parts of Central Europe, and high pressure blocking up towards Greenland and Iceland, and we're going to be bringing the wind in from a cold or very cold easterly wind direction, so maybe something like the beast from the east from this latest chart. No, probably not, but still it does look a lot colder than what we have been seeing. The precipitation looks like this for week 2. We are looking drier for most parts of the UK, but maybe hints of some showers into the east and more central regions, with them easterly winds possibly being quite strong at times. Now, the temperature looks a lot different than we have been seeing. It does look quite cold for large areas of Europe, all the way down towards Spain, towards France and some of the Central Europe countries. There is a little bit of cool air. Once again, looking quite cold over Scandinavia, but warmer temperatures over Greenland and parts of Scandinavia where the blocking signal is increasing. Okay, so that is week 2. Will we keep the cold signal for week 3? So this is the 26th of February to the 4th of March, and we're going to look like this. So the signs that the blocking signal stays up towards Greenland, but the low pressure in the Atlantic looks like it's going to, for at least southern parts of the country and the UK, bring up milder air. But for the north, with this low pressure being here, maybe some parts of the UK could stay cold with easterly winds, but it would be quite a battle with that, with winds coming from both directions. But there's still a signal that there could be colder weather very near. Precipitation anomalies look like this, very wet for week 3, not really that promising for colder and drier weather, as it does look very similar to what we have been seeing. And most of Europe is wet as well, so not really changing in that perspective. Temperatures look like this, so once again, maybe we are just on the cooler side, as we have got that colder air trying to drag in from the north and the east, and that milder air pushing up from the south, and that could cause quite a lot of snow if that did come off just right. So even though it looks milder, it could end up being quite cold. Okay, so that is week 3. Now let's move on to week 4. So it's the 4th of March to the 11th of March, and we look like this. So once again, similar signals, blocking signal up towards Greenland, maybe a bit of blocking towards Scandinavia as well. But we've got low pressure out in the Atlantic, looking like we're going to be driving winds in from the west once again. But even though the winds are in from the west, once again, northern areas could see the wind just wrapping around that low pressure into the north, so it might not be mild all through the country. Precipitation looks like this, so we are looking quite wet once again, so the deluge continues and no sign of any drier weather for week 4 either. Temperatures look like this, so let's see, do they change a bit? Maybe the milder air pushing a little bit further north towards northern England, with milder air pushing up just here, but we're probably still going to see the colder air for parts of Scotland just here, as the wind will be wrapping around that low pressure into the east. Okay, that is week 4. Now we're going to the extended range, so this is the 11th of March to the 18th of March 2024, and we look like this. So winds at this point do look like we're going to be driving in from the west, but once again that blocking signal is there, so we're not that far away from something very cold, but we're just on the edge. The wind's trying to wrap in from the east around that, but we're just on the edge. We're just not getting the winds in from a properly easterly or northerly direction. Precipitation looks same, weakening signal, but mostly looks wet over Europe. Maybe a little bit drier for northern areas in the UK due to the blocking to our north. Okay, so this is what the temperature looks like. So once again, it looks like there's going to be a bit of a battleground, with southern areas seeing milder temperatures, while maybe northern areas seeing very cold air coming in from the east or northeast by that point as well. We're not going to go into that much detail with these last couple of weeks, week 5 and 6, because they are getting out into the very extended range, so it is very unreliable. Okay, this is the 18th of March to the 25th of March, and this is what we're going to be looking like for week 6. Now, week 6 looks quite good, so we've got high pressure blocking towards Greenland still. The low pressure drops a bit further south over more central Europe, and it looks like we're going to be dragging the wind in from a very cold easterly direction there, so that looks like a classic easterly wind. Once again, a bit drier for the north, maybe a little bit wetter for southeastern areas, with some snow showers possibly coming in on the easterly winds. And finally, the temperatures, we are going colder than average for most of the UK, as we're dragging the cold air out of Scandinavia into the UK. As we go into spring, the cold air may arrive. Okay, thank you everyone for watching today's video. Thanks for all the support on the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Make sure to keep tuned, stay tuned for more upcoming videos.